Hello, everyone. My name is Language Burrow. I host a podcast entitled Man Overboard 50 Ain't Nothing But a Number, Yo. It can be found on most national platforms throughout the country in the U.S. But I also do some videos on travel. And Colombia has been one of the places that I wanted to travel to for the past 30 years. So I finally got here. So I'm doing a video. I've been here almost close to 2 weeks. I have 2 more days left. It's Sunday, I think the 27th or 28th of August. And so I just want to do a brief summary on my experiences here. I'm going to start off with talking about Sunday since today is Sunday. The big thing that's done here on Sunday is Ciclovia, Ciclovia, I think the way it's spelt. And Ciclovia started in Bogota as a way to encourage people to get out and have a more healthier lifestyle. And so what they do is they block off some major arteries in the streets, I think from either 7 or 8 to 1 p.m. And you would have to Google Ciclovia, and then I think you can put in the city, and then it will tell you what the routes are and what times things occur. So I'm in Medellin, and I'm staying in El Poblado. Luckily, I just walked down to 43A, or 43rd Street A, and the Ciclovia was there. It was supposed to be going to Envigado, so I just jumped in there and started walking. Now, the Ciclovia is really incredible. It's people biking, walking, riding. Walking dogs, running dogs, rollerblading. It's just really people getting out exercising, all forms of exercise. Now along the route, you have people, whenever you have people in one place, you're gonna have people selling, right? It's just the nature of people. So you have people performing music, you have people selling fruit and vegetables and food. So it's an experience. I wanted to do it since I got here and I finally got a chance to do it. So I went out there and started walking the Ciclovia, and luckily for me, it passed right by Santa Fe Mall, which was another mall I wanted to go to. It was on my list of malls to go to in Colombia. And so once I got done the Ciclovia, I just did a reverse on the Ciclovia, came back, went up to Santa Fe Mall and walked around the mall. I'll talk about malls later because I think malls deserve a separate little thing here. The other thing that would be considered about on Sundays, if you have a woman or chica, mujeres trabajo, working girl, whatever, or she's just a regular non-working girl, they call them good girls. So if you have either one of those or any of those, you need to be aware that Sunday is family day. Right? People work here hard and they work a lot of hours. Not uncommon for people to work 10 to 12 hours, 6 days a week. That's 60 hours. And so when they have time off, they're spending it with their family. And so if you have a woman and she's got a day off, even if she's a working girl, the chances are she's spending it with her family. So if you want to spend it with her, you got to spend it with her family. I mean, that's just the way it is. Family is very important. There's a very strong family culture. And so people know that they have to work to eat, and they work to eat. And the salaries are not high. I mean, this is not a first world or industrialized nation, even though they have some of that infrastructure here. People have to work to eat, and they don't make a lot of money when they're working. I mean, even when they're working 60 hours, I was told the average salary could be anywhere from $250 up to $300 a month. That's in U.S., right? They're paid in Colombian pesos or the copa, I think. They're paid in that form of measure. So that's just something for you. So I know the newscasters use teleprompters and all that stuff, so I got some notes. So once in a while, you'll see me flip down and look at my notes to talk about what's up next. So we talked about family. Family's important. You just need to be aware that family is super, super important here. Super, super important. Now I'm gonna get back to malls and women. So you see a lot of guys that do videos, other than shooting them, like a lot of booty videos, walking behind somebody shooting their booty. They talk about the place if you want to meet women that are not working or good girls or just regular work Colombian women, that you can go to the mall. Now the malls, first of all, the malls are gorgeous, beautiful. I've never seen anything like these malls here. And I thought it was ridiculous, like why would you just go to a mall? Like, come on. But I mean, the malls here are breathtaking. They're just spectacular. They have the designs, the views of the mountains, the way they're designed inside. They're an experience, right? And that's how the owners treat them. They treat the malls as an experience to get people to come in there. Now, once you get in there, then you're going to do some shopping because it's all kind of stuff you want, designer clothes, shoes, all food from around the world. So once you're in there, you're gonna spend some money. and that the nature of it is that they understand that they need to treat it more than just a place for you to come to shop. They treat it as an experience for you to come and you just happen to shop and eat, right? So the views are just fantastic. And the other thing about it is, for foreigners, that's one of the places that they talk about to meet women. Can you meet women at the mall? Yes. Are there beautiful women in Colombia? Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. They're everywhere. And depending on what bodies, body type you like, there obviously some thinner women here, but it tends to be more of the curvaceous Latin figure, and with the nice bottoms, nice round bottoms or big bottoms. I mean, that's what guys are coming for, and that's what they're finding. And so you can find that at a mall. You would have to definitely not go on a Sunday or Saturday or Friday night when they're super busy if you're trying to chat somebody up. You would go like on a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday when there's not a lot of traffic, and you can chat them up. And believe me, even the gorgeous ones, that they're approachable. Whether they'll go out with you or not is another story, but you have to understand the economic dynamics of Colombia, right? So most of these women that are working, they can't afford to live in homes. They're living home with their family, right? That's the way they can afford to buy nice things, is because they live with their parents, right? Very few of them make enough money to live on their own. And so what I'm saying is the expectation is that you are going to be, especially if you're a foreigner, I mean, that's not even a question. If you're a foreigner, the expectation is that if you're going somewhere, you're paying for all of it. You're paying for transportation, dinner, and that's just the nature of what it is. If you don't want to do it, then go somewhere else, right? It's just the nature of the way the system is set up. It's very patriarchal. Like, men run the show here, and if you got a problem with that, then stay home or go somewhere else. But that's the way it is. Now, are Colombian men abusing this? Yeah, you can imagine, right? I don't think to me, they don't appear to be anything special. Nothing special. Not equivalent to the women. The women are outstanding. But it's just that, men have access to the wealth here. And so it's not uncommon to see much older men with much younger women, right? Because you can literally change somebody's life, and it won't even cost you that much money to do it. And so that's why it is. And the belief is that, it's reality, is that the older you get, hopefully you're smart enough to make yourself somewhat successful, so that you can share that success with it. And the expectation is, if you get a woman here, that's the expectation, right? It's no going deuces, right? No going deuces or Dutches. No, you're paying for stuff because you got the money. You traveled here, so that's the way it is. Now, again, are Colombian men abusing? Yeah, I mean, there's so many women that unless you are specific about what you want and you have character, and I don't think a lot of them do have character, but I don't think a lot of the foreign men have character here either. But that's another thing. So foreign men end up coming here doing the same thing that locals do. They just go through the women. They're very disrespectful. They get upset when the woman wants to be with them, and can't understand why the woman doesn't, just because you had sex with her, and they can't understand why the woman doesn't want to be discarded. It's because beauty is cheap here. Beauty in Colombia is cheap. It's because there's so much of it. It's like if you lived in a gold town where gold dust was on the floor, right? It wouldn't be worth very much. And so it's the same thing here. Beauty is cheap because there's so much beauty here, and men are taking advantage of it. All right, I'm off the soapbox. Next, we're going to talk about prostitution. Prostitution is legal here, right? It's built into the economy, and you come to a place like El Poblado, and you just see mostly single men walking around. What do you think that's about, right? Same thing with Philippines or Thailand, certain parts of Mexico, Cancun, or not Cancun. Cancun's just for drunks and partiers, so you see all kind of people there. But Colombia, especially El Poblado, they've legalized prostitution. So foreign men come here for sexual tourism. And if you had a problem with that, then you don't come, right? The women don't have a problem with it. The government doesn't have a problem with it. So if you have a social problem with them, moral problem with them, then don't come. Go somewhere else. You're free to do it. They've accepted it here. It's legal. Now, is it morally right? That depends on your morals, and that depends on where you're standing, right? If you got enough food on your table, or if you have other opportunities or experiences, then yeah, maybe for you it's not morally right, because you don't have to walk in the same shoes that the people have to walk in here that have to make those decisions. But that's another story. So just understand, if you come here, it is legal, and it is a fair marketed trade here. I'm not going to talk again about the moralities of it, because that's for each person to decide. Now, if I was a married man, would I bring my spouse and like my family to Colombia? Probably not. There are other places in the world you can go to do other things. I wouldn't even bring my wife here. Why would I bring my wife here? I wouldn't. But that's just me. Some men do. Some men take their wives to the Philippines and to Guam and to Thailand. Is it wrong? No, it's not wrong. It's your decision to do it. But El Poblado is mostly single men. You walk around El Poblado, that's what you see. You see mostly single guys, either paired up or in groups or single. And they're here primarily for one reason. They're here for the sex tourism. That's pretty much all I'm going to say about that. I've enjoyed my experience here. Would I come back? Probably yes. But would I come back to El Poblado? Probably not. There are other, I think, much more interesting neighborhoods like Envigado, Sabaneta, that you can go to that are definitely much more local. I've even visited Laureles, which is the other place that people mention a lot here, but that's supposed to be local. But I didn't think too much of Laureles either. It was just like a party strip, like if you went to Miami, just with a party strip with a bunch of Spanish partiers. But I liked Envigado, and I liked Sabaneta. So if I came back to Colombia, those would be probably the areas I would go to. If I was in Medellin, I don't think I would go back to Bogota. It was just very spread out and wasn't a great experience. And Cartagena is a kind of a similar thing with the sex tourism. And then there's Santa Marta, which is near there, and that's supposed to be really beautiful with the beaches. And then Barranquilla, which also is on the coast. I would come back to Colombia also to do Cali. Cali is salsa, but Cali has a lot of fair amount of crime and just a little bit of instability in that specific region. So right now, I would not be visiting that. So hopefully this helps. We'll catch you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.